Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Bit War Podcast. I am your host, Brett Bates. Join with me, as always, co-hosts Andrew the Wink Winkleman
Howdy, howdy.
and Zachary Goins.
What is going on, folks?
Yeah. So we're a little late today. When you work in the IT industry, as I do sometimes, air conditioning units stop working, and you have to shut all the servers down before they burn up, and you lose everything.
There you go.
And you have to wait for it to get fixed so you can bring everything back up, and it takes a long time. So, anyways, it was fun. It was an interesting experience, but we're going to get going here. We don't really have anything gaming related this week, but there was something awesome that happened this week called San Diego Comic Con. You guys probably heard of it. So this episode's going to be kind of like our nerd culture episode. And we'll give you a little esports update as well at the end. But for the most part, this is going to be our nerd culture episode. Wink, why don't you give us a reminder of the Wink's trivia question and how to submit your guess?
All right. What character model? What PlayStation 3 character model is based off a TV star? And it's a prominent one. It's not just any random plain Jane. It's a very popular one.
Yep.
You can respond by tweeting at BitWarGaming. You can email us at bitwargaming@outlook.com.
Mm-hmm.
Did I say that right?
Yep.
Yeah, right. Or you can tweet it at me at Andrew Wink. And just a reminder, it's for a gift card to a $10 gift card to your platform of your choosing, whether it be Steam, PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, whatever you choose.
Yep.
Yep. We've had a few good guesses, real good guesses, but they've just got the character wrong. They've been good. It's been encouraging to hear all these guesses.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is the most response we've had in the Wink's trivia. Mm-hmm. So I like it a lot. So with that, and saying that we're going to do some Comic-Con stuff, we're going to watch the top 5 trailers that we chose to go over. A lot of these will be my first time seeing it because I was busy doing my day job. But I did hear a lot of good things about these trailers, and I agree that these are probably the top 5 looking at the alternatives that we're going to watch. So I'm going to switch over here. So for you live listeners, you're going to be able to watch the trailer with us, respond with us, react with us. If you're listening on the podcast, go to YouTube, look up these trailers. They're only a day or two old at this point, so it's not real hard to figure out which one we're watching. And you can match up the audio too to figure out which one. But anyways, here we go. So I'm going to cut over to this video, and we're going to have a listen.
Doctor Strange, you think you know how the world works? What if I told you the reality you know is one of many?
This doesn't make any sense.
Not everything does. Not everything has to. Through the mystic arts, we harness energy and shape reality. We travel great distances in an instant.
How do I get from here to there?
How did you become a doctor?
Study and practice. Years of it.
There's a strength to him.
But is he ready?
Be careful which path you travel down, Strange. Stronger men than you have lost their way. I am death. In pain. You'll die protecting this world.
I can't do this.
There is no other way.
I've spent so many years peering through time, looking for you.
What's this, my mantra?
The Wi-Fi password. We're not savages.
It's the Wi-Fi password.
Yeah,
We're not
okay.
animals.
So I have to admit that's probably, well, I won't say that yet. What I love about this, Rachel McAdams is in it. I'm okay with that. I don't know the actor's name, but that black guy in the trailer.
Yeah.
He was in the Serenity movie,
Yes.
and that was a fantastic movie, and he was awesome in it. So I'm pumped to see him in this movie. Benedict is a favorite actor of mine. Does a voice for the Hobbit movies, right? The dragon.
Yep.
He's also in that TV show Sherlock.
Very good show.
Yes, and he was an awesome Khan in the second Star Trek movie remake. Mm-hmm. So pumped that he is in this. So after every trailer, we're going to kind of discuss what we think about it, and then we're going to give it one of 3 ratings. All right? It's either going to be we'll see it in theater, pay money for it, or we're going to buy the DVD when it comes out and not see it in theater, or we're going to wait for it to come on Netflix. So, Zach, what do you think?
Yeah. So I did write some things down. First off, I agree. Cumberbatch is amazing, and I'm a big fan of Rachel McAdams. So with Doctor Strange, is it like time warping or is it time changing?
I have to say I'm a huge Marvel fan, but I'm a little bit ignorant when it comes to Doctor Strange and his storyline, so
Okay.
I don't really know.
From what I know, again, I don't like Brad. I don't know much about Doctor Strange at all. It's not about time. It's about alternate realities and different dimensions.
So with that being said, I like that Marvel is going with that instead of like the explosion heroes that we're used to, like the big fight action scenes.
Well, that's
Kinda like-
not Doctor Strange, though.
I know, but
Yeah.
I like that. I like that they're showing a different side of like their heroes, rather than like Iron Man or Captain America. I don't know. I got kind of tired of those ones, and I'm happy that they're going with Doctor Strange because it looks like I loved what's that one movie about dreaming?
Inception.
Yeah.
I loved Inception, and it kind of like the graphical CGI computer animation kind of reminded me of that, and I'm pretty pumped about that. It looks really nice. And yes, Austin Cumberbatch is Bay. You are correct.
Indeed.
Wink, what are you thinking?
Yeah. Well, Zach, you got to give us your ranking.
Oh, yeah, right.
What do you
I'll
rate
probably
it?
go see it. I'll probably go see it in a movie. It
Yeah,
looks really
okay,
good.
okay.
I'm a Marvel slappy, so it's
Yeah.
unfortunate.
All right, Wink. What do you think? Thoughts about the trailer and then your rating.
Okay. This is a lot. Like, to me, this is a lot like going into the Guardians of the Galaxy, because I know nothing about the character and nothing about his background or the comics. So this is all fresh and new to me, and it excites me. The first trailer looked unique and cool and intrigued me quite a bit. This trailer, though, really blew me away and really gets me excited for the possibility of this movie. This, with all the money that Marvel's made, Marvel Studios in general, this is their first movie where they get to flex their muscles when it comes to CGI and
Yep.
animations and everything. And so far, everything looked really impressive.
Yeah.
Because, a problem with probably about 5 years ago, 10 years ago, is CGI was still kind of new. And everything you could tell when CGI was CGI because it just didn't look real. It didn't have the textures. It looked kind of fake. It was easy to pick it out. Now, everything's gotten so good. It's CGI because it's obvious you got stuff coming out of your hand, but
Yeah.
it looks about as real. Like, it looks as real as you could imagine it could look. And this CGI is a lot Inception-like, but like his magic, his powers, all that stuff looks really, really impressive.
Yeah.
Because from everything I've read, is Doctor Strange might be the most powerful Avenger, because I believe he's an Avenger, and like their Marvel universe is all leading up to a big battle with Thanos, and I think Doctor Strange was part of that battle. And the Winter Soldier, was the first actual hint of Stephen Strange on that one skyscraper's rooftop where Black Widow, Steve Rogers, and the Falcon take that that Hydra informant, and and then they throw him off the roof. And do you guys remember that scene?
Yeah.
The informant with the glasses before
Mm-hmm.
he gets killed by the Winter Soldier. He mentions Stephen Strange in that scene because Hydra and all them are monitoring all these superheroes or what gonna be, and Stephen Strange is one of them. Benedict Cumberbatch, huge fan of his movies, his acting, everything. I wasn't really sure when he was first announced how he would do as a Stephen Strange because he's never been in a role like this with superpowers and all that stuff.
Being a dragon's a superpower.
Everything that he's shown so far, it looks really good. Mads Mikkelsen is the villain in this movie. His look is completely different from the comics. I had to look him up, but he looks really menacing and terrifying. From what I gathered, he is like the guy he plays is a very low level bad guy. So I'm kind of either wondering if this is just an introduction to maybe a trilogy of some sorts with Doctor Strange, or if this villain is being portrayed a little bit higher and more powerful than what the comics.
This is my other thought, and this is the other thing that'll it's kind of worrisome. With how movies are being made right now, they're like, oh, let's make the first one and let's do a trilogy. Captain America, Iron Man, all that stuff. The growth of Doctor Strange from like getting in the car crash and having his hands not work correctly anymore to the end where it looks like he has all of his powers. I'm really worried that they're just gonna cram it all in there, and I kind of want to know what happens. I hope that it's not like a rushed movie or like a 3-part segment.
The thing is, the whole introduction to Doctor Strange is over quite a few different alternate realities. The one you see where he's a rich doctor, where he ends up in a hospital with his hands all thing is one of them. Then you saw another one of him with long scraggly hair, and he looks like he's homeless. That's another one. That's how there's more than just one Doctor Strange, and that's how he's introduced with his powers and stuff like that, and how he's been watched, is because he doesn't realize he can manipulate all these realities that way.
Next. Too much. My mind hurts already. What the frick? I'm done.
You gotta remember these storylines and these comics over years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is very true.
Of different stories. These aren't. I mean, this is just a fraction of what everything is. To cram it into a trilogy is even difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, here's my fear on that note. The Avengers: Age of Ultron. In the comic books, Ultron was a huge menace, a huge villain that spanned. I think they said almost 100 issues. Yep. Like a long time villain. It took the Avengers a long time to destroy Ultron. And in the movie, it seemed like 2 days took place, and they beat him. After he was created. So I feel like they wasted him as a villain in that movie. It was still a good movie, but I feel like they wasted a lot of potential.
I get what you're saying, but you have to cut the line. You have to make a line at some point, because you got to remember the whole Marvel universe is planned over like the next 16 years worth of movies. You have to make cuts at some point.
Sure, but I think Ultron could have been made into 2 movies.
Maybe,
part 1 and
how
part
many?
2.
I mean, exactly how many Avenger movies can you make before Thanos? Because they got to remember who's playing these characters.
Mm-hmm.
If with Tony Stark and and Iron Man, with Robert Downey Jr., he's getting up there in age. He can only make so many more movies, before they finally get to Thanos and the Avengers finally end the whole Marvel universe and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you got to keep that in mind when they're deciding to write these scripts and what villains to include and stuff like that.
Until you pay him money to use his face in CG on a body double.
I mean, Tony Stark's in a lot of these cutscenes. He's not always in Iron Man suit.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
I just don't want it to be awkward like Iron Man 1 to 2 when you had Don Cheadle, right? Was it Don Cheadle?
He's the current War Machine.
But in the second Iron Man, he was just like, no, F you guys. Like, I don't want to do this anymore. And then he realized like how stupid it was, and he came back.
The first guy, I don't remember his name. He's plays in that TV show Empire.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
The second and third one that was John Cheadle. He's the new
Yeah,
guy.
that was a huge behind the scenes thing. That wasn't a planned replacement. That was just
No.
something that kind of happened.
Yeah.
That was also before the Marvel comic universe became what it is today. Before it was a monster, you know. Before
I thought
it was
that
unstoppable.
I thought that there was something going on with War Machine and how the original actor was like, "Oh, this is stupid. I don't want to do this," and then he quit, and then they brought somebody else in to replace
No,
him.
it was he's the same character, same and
no.
everything. It just replaced with a different actor.
Yeah. It was the actor though that said
Yeah, that's what I'm
he
saying.
wanted more
the actor.
money, and Marvel wouldn't pay him the money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was behind the scenes stuff that wasn't planned. It wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't. Don Cheadle wasn't going to be inserted in the second movie the whole time. It was, contract stuff.
Yeah.
So you need my rating, right?
Yep.
This will be a first showing Thursday night kind of movie. I will get there an hour before the viewing starts. I will buy the souvenir cup. I will buy souvenir stuff. I will buy a Doctor Strange print, I'm sure, because my hype train has no brakes for this movie, and it's to the point where it is about to jump off the tracks. I like this trailer specifically made it the unstoppable force of this hype train. It's just I cannot wait. Everything with the cast looks good. The CGI looks unbelievable. I can't imagine any better CGI for something like this. Now, of course, it could be a letdown. It could be an Avengers 2 Age of Ultron for me, where I get unstoppable hype train where it's not really a letdown, just maybe not as good as I expected. So there's there's always that possibility, but it's really hard to bet against Marvel right now because they've hit home run after home run after home run after home run. But yeah, I'm ecstatic to see this movie. I cannot wait.
Yeah, I'm with Wink. It is going to be a first showing, if at all possible, for me. I know with my work schedule, it may not work out that way, but it is my plan.
I might call that whole
first
week
showing.
off work and just get ready to prepare my body for physically
awesome.
what's going to happen.
Do it. Take that vacay. Get that vacation time. That'll be good. I'm pumped for this movie. So I think you have it. You have three. We're all in agreement that this is a seeing it in theater quality hype right now. So next
even
one.
For, even for the people that are getting superheroed out, because there's a Marvel and DC overload right now in the media world. Movies, TV shows, stuff like that. So I can understand why people are just getting tired of all this, but Doctor Strange is so different and so unique from everyone else and everything else that's been shown. I think that alone should entice people to go see this in movie theaters.
Yeah, and I like that they're because there's like the first tier, I guess, of Marvel characters that are so well known. They had all the cartoons back in the day made for them. Yep. And now they're kind of bringing up these lesser known ones, still as good, backstory wise, content, storyline villains. They're really bringing these kind of second tier characters in, and I'm liking it a lot. I like how it's filling it out. So that to me, if they would just continue with the Avengers movies, just with Captain America, Iron Man, Hulk, if they would just stick with that, like whatever 5 superheroes they had for those movies, it would get boring real quick. But I'm glad that they're making all these side stuff.
No, not even that. You got another thing I read this weekend from Comic-Con is because Thor Ragnarok was some information was finally teased about that, which is the 3rd Thor movie. They showed equipment to hint that there will be a Planet Hulk movie too. So that is something that I wasn't sure if that was part of the Marvel timeline or not.
Yep.
I don't think it is.
It is.
Yeah, I think. I'm
but
not sure.
I want to say that She-Hulk is introduced either in that story arc or before that story.
They also
arc.
mentioned who's the woman for Captain America?
Peggy Carter, is that? Oh no, yeah, Captain Marvel. Brie Larson.
Brie Larson was.
They introduced her. Yeah, they introduced her as the new family member. So they're they're even doing more with that now.
Yeah, which is awesome.
They're gonna suck every penny out of this as they can, which I don't blame them because they're making a crap ton of money.
Yeah, absolutely.
As long as they keep making the right decisions with producers, directors, and casting, I'm okay with because they keep making the right decisions that way. They with everyone that they pick so far. So keep it up, and then if you want to keep pumping out these movies, then more power to you.
I'll segue that into the next one that we're watching. I think that this next one that we're gonna watch has the ability to almost level the playing field.
What? No.
I honestly think so.
No.
I think so. No. I
Stop.
think with how,
Take it back.
no, I think with how they're setting it up, and like with some of the other stuff I've seen, like it's gonna be pretty cool. Like I think they're definitely way behind, but I think that it's gonna be really good.
That is almost the equivalent of saying that Xbox making a Bluetooth controller with a 3.5 millimeter plug-in gets them back in the console race.
No, I'm just saying that this is like the first step towards. Never mind. You guys.
I am at white girl levels of can't even right now. I can't even with that statement, Zach.
Oh, Zach, that's funny.
Somebody's got to toss it in.
So
Somebody's got to be the odd guy out.
Everyone is wondering
guys all the time.
what in the world could this trailer be that is perceivably, from Zach's point of view, that good. And we'll drop it. It's Justice League. I think because Batman vs Superman for me is a wait till it comes on Netflix movie after everything I've read and watched on it.
Yeah, I don't know too.
I don't think this is going to be any better. I just maybe a little. But
There's reason for hope, and I'll tell you why.
Okay, well we'll watch the trailer first, and then we're gonna give you guys our thoughts. So here is, without further ado, here is the Justice League trailer.
I'm Batman.
There is a stranger who comes to this village from the sea. He comes in the winter when people are hungry and brings fish. He comes on the king tide. That was last night.
Talk.
I believe that an enemy is coming from far away. I'm looking for warriors. This stranger. Others like him. I'm building an alliance to defend us. It's very important that I see this man. Barry Allen. Bruce Wayne.
You said that like it explains why there's a total stranger sitting in the dark in my second favorite chair.
He said he'll fight with us?
More or less.
More or more less?
Probably more or less.
He said no.
He said no.
Look, man, I don't know who you are, but whoever you're looking for,
So you're fast.
that feels like an oversimplification.
I'm putting together a team. People with special abilities. You see, I believe enemies are coming.
Stop right there. I'm in.
You are? Just like that?
Yeah, I need friends.
Agreed.
Can I keep this?
I heard about you. Didn't think you were real. I'm real when it's useful. Arthur Curry. I hear you can talk to fish.
All right, so there's a Justice League trailer. Zach, since you are the oh so overly excited one, let's have at it. You go first.
I don't know how you guys can't say it doesn't look sweet.
You don't even know what we're gonna say yet.
Freaking Aquaman is in it. That was cool as it felt. Like when they opened up with Aquaman, I was like, oh, that's pretty dope. And then they had like Batman, and I'm still on the verdict of if Ben Affleck is a good Batman or not. I think it's really hard to compare him to what we've had because who's the last guy? His name's just escaping me.
Well,
from the Dark Knight and stuff like
Yeah.
that. I know you're talking about this.
You guys, everybody knows what I'm talking about.
Yep.
That was a moment where like Batman was absolutely at the peak of acting. Like those movies will never be those movies. Christian Bale as Batman is completely separate from what we have now. Like they can't even be in the same conversation because those movies were done differently than what Batman versus Superman and the Justice League were done. Like those Batman movies were just like incredible storytelling, incredible direction, acting, everything. That being said, I think this movie is going to be really good because they do have a good group of actors. They have Wonder Woman, which is really cool. I think it was interesting to see her perspective because I've known about her and I've read the comics with that, but I haven't really, in a movie form, it's been different. The Flash, I talked with Paul earlier. He wishes that they would have brought like the CW Flash in. Understand there are rights and everything to do with that. Like that's neither here nor there.
The character, like the
actor? The actor, yeah.
Oh.
That was Cyborg, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
He was cool. I just don't want to throw DC and Justice League under the mat and not give them a chance. Like I really think that Drew, get out of here with the Green Lantern crap. I think that it's going to be really cool. I think it's really going to be a blockbuster. I think they're going to make a lot of money off of it because people, like, there are some Justice League fan out there. I think Marvel, like we've said, Marvel got in early and started doing it because, Justice League with like the old Superman movies, those were terrible. But it's just going to be hard for them to rebound. And you guys can say all you want, but I think it's going to be good. I might go see it in the movie theaters. I really might.
So is it your official?
Yeah, I'll probably go see it in the movie theater.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Wink.
Cautious optimism is what I get from watching that trailer because of a few different factors. One is Batfleck has more control over this one compared to Zack Snyder, who completely ruined Batman vs. Superman. The fact that Ben Affleck is giving more producer and director power over this and say over the Justice League franchise gives me some hope because for a guy who I really hated as the choice of Batman, he is this entire franchise's only hope of making, getting a dent in Marvel's dominance right now. Because there hasn't been a Batman yet that embodies Bruce Wayne better than what he has. I mean, he's been absolutely perfect as Bruce Wayne. Now, as Batman, it's been good, not unbelievable. But as Bruce Wayne itself, he's been pretty much perfect in my opinion. Visually, like everything looks good. It looks like a high budget AAA, comic book movie. But the cast selection for Aquaman, I cannot remember the guy's freaking name, and it ticks me off. But for just strictly visual purposes, you cannot cast someone better than what they cast as Aquaman. He looks so badass and so perfect. It just I remember seeing a teaser image years ago of what they planned on doing with him, and I thought it looked great. But it looks even better now that you finally see him in the film. He looks even better than I ever expected. I mean, home run right there. I have no idea what type of actor he is or what they're gonna do with Aquaman, but if their entire purpose is just make him look like a badass that can control everything in the sea,
they did.
I think so far they hit a home run with that. Cyborg, Zach brought up, looks really bad though. Like if you could flip flop how good Aquaman looks, Cyborg is the opposite of that spectrum.
What?
Cyborg looks like a CGI robot mess.
Hot mess.
He is a hot mess. It just, and this is coming from a guy that doesn't know really anything about Cyborg. Just visually, he does not look right. I just don't get it. I mean, if it looks like if Jax had a baby with a T-1000 from Terminator. I mean, I know he's mostly CGI. I completely get that, but I don't know. He just doesn't look right. I do not like how they rendered him for this movie. Wonder Woman. I think her name is Gal Gadot or
Gal Gadot. Yeah.
Gal Gadot. When she was cast, I was a little like I'll go more into her with the Wonder Woman trailer, but it looks like she's gonna have a big role in this movie, and after Batman and Superman, that's really encouraging. I thought she's a great Wonder Woman so far. That's exciting. This is the Flash's first real screen presence in this universe. The actor choice for him looks to be really good because, like Ben Affleck said, this was going to be a little bit more humorous instead of a dark and ominous Batman vs Superman. Like the Justice League is going to be more humorous and more entertaining, kind of like what the Marvel movies have been. So, the Flash looks like he could be the quirky, teenager, kind of like what Spider-Man was for the Civil War. So that excites
Spider-Man was so good in Civil. I'm sorry. Keep going.
That's right. Yeah, I'm trying to go over my notes here. I think that's pretty much it. And Brett, you mentioned something about this in Marvel. What were you bringing? Like before you started the trailer, what'd you say about that?
I don't remember now. It's
Yeah,
been 2
it's
minutes. Goldfish.
Yeah, something about. I think I kind of already mentioned this, but Ben Affleck's role and control over this franchise is DC's only hope to make a dent in Marvel's dominance right now. Because Zack Snyder's ruined the first movie, the first real chance. Yeah, Zack brought up they made a lot of money, but I don't think he realizes 90% of that earnings was from the opening weekend because of suckers like me who had to go see it opening night and opening weekend. I bet you won't see that kind of record-breaking numbers like you saw for Batman vs Superman just because of how big of a disappointment critically and fanatically that movie was. So if even with Ben Affleck taking control of this, if they don't get this one right, I think they're screwed for good. I don't think they'll be able to come back and even contend with Marvel because Marvel has been on the money 95% of the time. I can only think of one or two that weren't good movies from their franchise, like maybe Iron Man 3, and then maybe Avengers: Age of Ultron. And even those were pretty good movies, but they weren't great movies.
Yeah.
See, the problem with DC is they've had a lot of bad movies and missteps. So if they don't get this one right, they might be screwed no matter how big Batman is and how big Superman is.
Yeah, absolutely. So what's your ranking?
I will go see this opening weekend, maybe not opening night, depending on schedule, of course, but I'm too much of a sucker not to go see this. And the fact that Ben Affleck has more control gives me some hope, because if it was still Zack Snyder calling the shots, I probably honestly wouldn't go see this in theater unless I saw good reviews that, changed my mind. But this will still be a theater movie watch, but it won't be an emphatic theater movie watch like Doctor Strange was.
Okay. All right. So we got 2 see it in theaters. Drew in chat read my mind on this. Hashtag Halftis League. In all dimensions and all versions of Justice League, it's Batman, Superman. When you don't have those two, it's not Justice League. In no form of it has it ever been Justice League without those two. So, unless they're withholding some awesome cameo from Superman, it's already a letdown for me.
They're going to bring him back.
They have to. Absolutely.
I mean, with the ending of Batman versus Superman, he's going to make some triumphant return at the end of this.
Yeah.
There's no chance. There's zero chance he's not in this movie.
Yeah, well, I'm just going from this trailer where they don't show any sign of him being a part of it. If that is the case, this is flop for me.
Okay, I think that's a little bit of something they learned from from Batman vs Superman, where they gave away everything in the trailers. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
that's why I didn't go see
really
it.
pissed me off when they
Yeah.
gave away Doomsday. I lost my effing mind, and that trailer alone makes me not want to watch any trailers anymore.
Yeah.
Because too many movies ruin the big plot twist or the villain, blah blah blah.
Yep.
Yeah, there's no chance that they don't have or Superman in this. No chance.
Yeah. Well, so if that's the case, because it's all I'm speculating worst case scenario at this point.
Yep. Okay.
If that is were to happen, I agree. DC done. Let me ask you guys a question. Would you arguably say, to date, the best Batman series have been the Dark Knight series?
Yes.
Movie wise.
Whoops. Earthquake.
Yeah.
Yes.
It'd
Okay.
be hard to argue against that.
Why?
Because they weren't cartoony and loopy, and then they had the best villains so far.
Okay.
I think I said it though in the beginning. Like the acting was really good. Like Christian Bale nailed Batman. I mean,
Right, but okay. So plot wise, why were these movies great plot wise?
because they developed it. It wasn't like jumping. Like they developed it in a routine that I enjoyed because it made me feel what happened throughout everything.
All right. So was it lighthearted, or these trilogies?
They were dark.
They were dark, right? That's exactly what I'm saying. Is DC Comics are dark. They are borderline sadistic with how dark they are, and because who directed those, I can't remember.
He was in Star. He did the Didn't he do the Star Trek movies?
No, it wasn't J.J. Abrams.
I'll look it up.
Yeah.
Keep talking.
Anyways, he
Oh.
kept to the comics in the aspect that it was dark, not necessarily canon, as in where characters come from, where they end up, who they align with, but in the aspect of DC Comics are dark and they're very serious. He nailed that, and that's what drew me into him. That's the only reason I've liked this Batman. Only reason that the only previous Batmans to that I liked were the first two Michael Keaton Batmans, because they were dark.
And George Clooney.
No. No way. George Clooney ruined Batman. Ruined DC.
Those movies were more along their time, though. They matched the 90s and stuff like that.
But Arnold Schwarzenegger
As Mr. Freeze.
As Mr. Freeze.
Freeze.
Oh my gosh. No. If they go back to something like that, which is what I fear with this whole, we're going to be a little jokey and silly, like the formula that made Marvel movies so good, I think it's not going to work, because it's just going to be a big copycat, and people have already had that. It's old news at this point, with a little comic relief here and there. Serious storyline, but comic relief. So if they follow that, no.
I don't know. It just depends. You gotta look at who the characters that were doing it too. Who are the sarcastic? Who are the funny characters in the Marvel universe? When it's Tony Stark, is usually the one making comments and stuff like that. I mean, you might hear a little bit from Bruce Wayne and stuff like that, but it looks like mostly the Flash, just because of who his age in this universe and stuff like that. I don't think you'll have to worry about that too much, just because look at the rest of the character, the rest of the cast. Are any of them portrayed as funny or anything like that? And anything with their series, how they're portraying the trailers, anything like that?
Well, no, and that's why I'm hoping that it doesn't go that way. What I'm saying is that if they try to just replicate that formula, it's gonna not be good.
Yeah, I could see your point there. Yeah, I would be surprised if they went that way.
Christopher Nolan.
There you go.
Yes.
Good call.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Yes. Awesome
Absolutely
directing
phenomenal.
job in that. Speaking of directing, here is also why I agree with Wink that there is hope for this movie. Ben Affleck directing and acting in The Town, and then his most recent one, is it Argo, right?
Argo is one of them.
Yes.
Argo and The Town. Those two movies that he directed,
I think he did the same with Gone Girl too. I think he was director for that movie as well.
Ben Affleck was actor and director in Gone Girl, one of my favorite movies because it literally made my mind melt.
Yeah, that movie. Yeah, seriously.
So his
Judge
so
my life priorities.
if this happened
Yeah.
with young Ben Affleck, movie fail hard.
Yeah.
With the mature and really grown up, experienced Ben Affleck, I think this does have a chance to not put them on point with Marvel, but a step in the right direction, a huge step in the right direction.
When he was cast, I had a meltdown. I thought, because
Oh,
that's
everyone
all was in
did.
the back of my head was young Ben Affleck. You know, I've liked pretty much all of his movies, most of his movies, I should say. But I just made no sense to him as a Batman.
Yeah.
But you know, fast track 3-4 years, 5 years, it's made a huge difference on my impression. He is really good as an actor and especially a director.
Well, now, not before.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, obviously he evolved and he got better with experience because like Gone Girl was unbelievable. That movie messes with your head so bad.
Yep.
And so agree. Him having control over this, well, can't say full control because Zack Snyder is, I think, contracted for 3 or 4 movies. But the fact that he has more control over this and hopefully more than Snyder is a good sign that DC learned from their mistakes.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed. So this for me,
the fact that you're on the fence makes me think you're still going to see this in theater.
I waited Batman vs Superman. I refused to go see it in theater. I do think I will see this one in theater.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be opening night. I don't even think it'll be opening weekend. It'll probably be a couple weeks after, when there's no one else in the theater. You know, on Friday afternoon or something.
Well, if it's anything like Batman vs Superman, you could probably just wait till Sunday and you'll get an empty theater.
There you go.
Unless it's a smash hit, then I think that people will be flocking to it.
Yeah, reviews are going to be very important for a movie like that because you know, Batman vs Superman just was a slaughter to the critic. Oh my god,
and
it was so bad, and it was rightfully so. It made
I literally had to force myself to finish that movie just so I could say that I watched it. I did not like it almost at all.
I didn't have to force. I mean, it wasn't that bad.
I thought it was that bad.
Never walk out of a movie or anything like that, but yeah, that movie was a huge disappointment.
Yeah. So at least they're making steps away from that. What made that movie so bad?
Yep.
So I do have hope for this movie. Like you
I still
said,
can't believe the turning point in that movie was him having the same mother's name. Oh my god, that is the worst thing ever.
Oh man.
Seriously, when you're writing a script for a movie, did they sit down and say, "This is a good idea. This is what will change things. This is what will give them a common enemy"? Having the same mother's name, saying Martha. I mean, that just blows my mind how that was accepted and okay.
That is like a Step Brothers level automatic friendship.
Like when Ben Affleck was sitting there reading this, going, "You got to be effing kidding me." Yeah, I mean, he had to have known this was going to be bad. Like,
Your mother's name was Martha? My mother's name was Martha. Did we just become best friends? Let's go kung fu in the garage.
Yeah, let's go kill this guy now.
Yeah, no, it was bad. It was just a big disappointment. So.
Okay, really quick. Rest in peace, Heath Ledger. I found one of my favorite quotes from Dark Knight Rises. I'm gonna do it really quick, and then we'll go on to the next one. It's totally worth it. Do I really look like a guy? Do I really look like a guy with a plan? You know what I am? I'm a dog chasing cars. I wouldn't know what to do if I caught it. You know, I just do things.
My favorite line from him is, "You want to see a magic trick?" And he puts that pencil on the table. And he just waits. People are like, "Okay," and so he's talking. and he's just like, "Smash, gone."
I remember seeing that. I saw it in IMAX the first time, and I was just like, "He did."
Yeah.
Just smash that dude's face with a pen. What?
Yeah.
It took a while for that to process where that pencil went for me too.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I do have, I guess, a casting complaint with Wonder Woman. Don't get me wrong. In the other movies that Gal Gadot is in, she does a fantastic job. In the in the Fast and Furious franchise, she did really well. I think she's a great actress. But, and we'll discuss this after the Wonder Woman trailer we're about to watch. the whole description and where Wonder Woman came from and why, it just doesn't make sense. Anyways, I do like that they're introducing new characters. Aquaman looks awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like the person that I want to be when I grow up. 30 already grown. Didn't become him. Fail.
Yeah, I kind of wish I was Samoan and stuff like that so I could look like him.
Yeah, he looks so good as.
I just want to be The Rock. That's it.
Growing up, watching Aquaman cartoons and Justice League cartoons, with Aquaman, he always had a fin, like a mermaid. And that's what I was like, oh my gosh, you're bringing Aquaman in to this? His little fin flapping around. I was going to think this was going to be fail. But thankfully, they purposefully, I think, showed in the trailer that he's walking on 2 feet, which is a lot better. So, anyways, like I said, I probably will go see this in theater. So I think 3 see it in theater votes here. Next one up, like I said, is Wonder Woman. I do like origin films. I do. You know how Avengers happened, and they went back and they kind of did some origin films of the characters to get a better background, or continuation stories like Captain America's have always been kind of a continuation of where he left off in the different Avengers movies. I like how they do that, and it kind of ties everything together in between the huge, massive films. Even though Captain America: Civil War is really was an Avenger level film.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, here is the Wonder Woman trailer.
You're a man.
Yeah. I mean, do I not look like one?
You have been my greatest love. Be careful, Diana. I do not deserve you.
Have you never met a man before? I mean, what about your father?
I had no father. I was brought to life by Zeus.
Well, that's neat. I can't let you do this.
What I do is not up to you.
It's Etta Candy. I'm Steve Trevor's secretary.
What is a secretary?
I go where he tells me to go and I do what he tells me to do.
Oh, well, where I'm from, that's called slavery.
I really like her.
Fantastic.
Oh,
Ladies, after you.
I do. I like her.
So there we have Wonder Woman trailer. Of course, you get the massive culture agenda, our current culture agenda in there, and that's all I'll say about it. But anyways, the trailer is pretty sweet. I'm not gonna lie. The trailer is really well done. Wink, why don't you go first? I want to hear what you think about this trailer.
Okay. Like a lot like the other trailers that we've talked about so far. This is the second one, I believe, that they've shown.
Mm-hmm.
Where the first one didn't really do much for me, but the second one looked a lot better and looked really good. Because like the first images and trailers and stuff for this kind of had that weird green hue to it, like the entire cutscene, make it look a little weird and like dark and ominous. This one didn't look like that at all. It looked normal, which I'm glad they kind of changed. As for Wonder Woman herself, costume-wise, other than Iron Man's costume, this might be the best costume design out of all of the costumes for the comic book movie so far. I mean, that thing it's just perfect. It is on point. Now Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, I don't know. She, like Brett said, she's a great actress, and I'm not worried that she'll disappoint in her role. But when I think about Wonder Woman and everything I've seen, I think of Amazon and I think of brute strength and just a big chick, you know. And Gal Gadot is skinny, you know. It's kind of tight and tiny, so it's kind of the opposite of what I image Wonder Woman as. Not that that's a huge concern, you know. Maybe actually once I see the movie, my opinion will change on that. But that's like my only complaint about the casting so far. The fight scene with her and all those soldiers in that small room, and you can see her unbelievable speed and her breaking that wood plank over her back and stuff like that. That was pretty sweet. Like her, you know, and like the bullets flying off of her boots and stuff like that was sweet.
Deflecting that mortar around.
Yeah, the glowing lasso of truth looked really good too. You know, all the stuff like that was on point. I was really happy to see a lot of that. Yeah, it was a good trailer that got me more interested in seeing what Wonder Woman is all about. Origins, I'm getting tired of origin stories a little bit, just because there's so many comic book movies out, especially with the Marvel Universe. They're so far past a lot of these origin stories. You know, they're kind of getting to the meat of their entire universe. So, you know, with DC being a little bit behind on that, you know, I'm kind of getting a little bit origin now. But overall, I'm excited about seeing this movie. I'll go see it in theater. I probably will. I won't be until I see reviews. I probably won't be banging down the door to see it opening night. But that will. I think I've seen enough in this trailer alone to make me interested to see it in theaters itself.
All right, Zach.
I think it looks really good. I think it's. I'm not tired of the origin stories yet, because like I didn't read that many comics when I was younger. So the origin stories are nice for me because it gives me a little bit more background than I have. With Wonder Woman, I do have a little bit more background just because I think she was like one of the only comics I did read, just because I thought it was really cool. Because I liked Superman for a while. But the CGI and like the slow-mo, like I agree with Wink, the slow-mo in that room with the guys and like her just destroying them was pretty awesome. And I agree with the costume. I think the costume's beautiful. I think Chris Pine is going to be a sweet co-actor too. Like I like him a lot. I've always liked him in all the movies he's done. So
I agree with that.
Well, yeah, I think it's going to be a good movie. I don't know if it might be like I might go see it. I might go see it in a movie, or it might also be like I'm gonna torrent stream this the week of, because I don't feel like going to the movies to watch it. But it's definitely I mean, I don't do that.
We don't condone
what do you
illegal
mean?
activities here. So,
but
all right.
I don't know. It might even be Netflix. You know, I think the DVD. I was just thinking about this. The DVD section is kind of weird because, like, I would probably buy Doctor Strange.
Well, yeah, but you.
I know. Wait till it comes out.
It's
yeah,
on DVD.
Yeah, wait till it comes out. Yeah, no, I'll probably go see it in a movie. I mean, it's a superhero. I'll probably go see it.
Yeah. All right. I'm with Wink on the casting. The whole origin of Wonder Woman is that she came from a planet filled with Amazonesses. Right? We're talking 6'4", muscle-bound chicks, just wrecking people.
Yeah, she's the daughter of Zeus. I mean,
right. Well, the whole planet is all Amazonesses. It's their lineage, and so I guess I don't like that they're breaking that. But if they have a good explanation for the differences in the movie, I think I can let that go. but we'll see. I don't know. The trailer, really well done. I love that it's World War One. I love that she's just running through like Captain America with a shield, just in the thick of it, just wrecking.
Yeah.
You know, cracking skulls, taking names. I do like that. The agenda, just, I know I said I wasn't going to say anything else, but when a secretary does their job, they get paid. Slaves don't. Apples to oranges. That's all. I'm done. Anyways. I think, I don't know if at this point, it's a Netflix for me. It's a wait for it to be on Netflix unless the reviews are stellar. If the reviews are not stellar, it'll be one that I wait until it comes out on Netflix, because Netflix is the deal with Marvel.
Yeah.
So I think that for me right now, it's a Netflix unless the reviews are crazy good. Yeah. That trailer makes it look good enough to go see in theater, but I've been burned on trailers before.
Yep.
So we'll see. So we have one theater, one maybe theater, and then one Netflix.
And two left.
Two
almost
left.
Done.
Almost done. All right, so this next one.
We'll power through these. These are kind of the lesser of those.
Yeah, the next one, I don't want to review this one, but we'll do it because these two.
You don't have to say anything.
I think these two like this movie. The idea of this movie.
Cool, actually.
If I'm talking about King Kong or Donkey Kong for that matter, I'm gonna play it in a Mario game, not watch it on a movie.
Start it up. Let's go.
All right. So here is the Kong Skull Island trailer. If it will play. Here we go.
If it will play.
It's a survey job. Just chopper them in and out. Be a joyride. You are going to tell me everything I don't know, or I'm going to blow your head off.
This planet doesn't belong to us. Ancient species owned this Earth long before mankind. I spent 30 years trying to prove the truth. Monsters exist.
You don't go into someone's house unless you're picking a fight.
What you're looking at is a monster from some bygone era. It's trying to show that man is king.
All right. I will say something real quick since this is a Netflix for me. Maybe DVD. Netflix for me. I will say this though. Was it Tom Hiddleston? Is that his name?
Yeah.
Brie Larson, John Goodman. That's a pretty solid cast.
You forgot the other guy on there.
Samuel L. Jackson. Done with him. He can keep his eye patch. Other than the cast, this doesn't interest me. We'll see. If more reviews and trailers come out that show more, maybe it'll sway me. But right now, it's Netflix. I would wait. I wouldn't pay money to see it. So, go ahead, Zach. I want to hear what you think.
When I saw that it was from the people who made Godzilla, like the last Godzilla,
the newest one,
I really liked the newest one. I was a big fan of the newest Godzilla. I mean, I thought it was done really well. I like the monster movies, like the man versus monster movies. This one's kind of weird to me because I don't understand how big King Kong is supposed to be. So I Googled it, and it's supposed to be around 50 feet. And in the movie, I feel like it made him...
He's about 80 to 100 feet.
Yeah.
In the movie looking like.
Because I'm thinking 50 feet, that's 5 basketball hoops high. You know, that's a pretty big monkey. Yep. Like, that's pretty big. But
the
in
femur
the movie,
is not going to be 3 times a human size.
Yeah, and in the movie, it made it seem like the helicopters are flying in, and there's the huge sunset, and I was just like, it's kind of odd. Like, I feel like they've made him way bigger than he needs to be.
I'll explain that to you when it's my
turn. Google search how long an Apache helicopter is, because his hand was about as big as that helicopter in the trailer, but when he swatted it down.
Yeah.
So, they'll give you an idea of how big they're making this thing. If they're pitting it to be a Godzilla versus King Kong in the movie in the future.
So, Apache helicopter length, 48 feet.
Yeah, and it was his hand.
And that was his
helicopter
hand.
out of the sky.
Yeah. So, like, I just don't know, man. The first King Kong with Jack Black, like the one where they kind of like did the new era of King Kong, was awful. Like, absolutely terrible.
Yeah. Absolutely
terrible. But this one, I was like, it looks kind of good. Like Tom Hiddleston, I'm a fan. John Goodman, I'm a fan. Samuel L. Jackson,
feels good.
I
man.
can deal with him. But I just feel like they got the sizing wrong. Unless Wink wants to change my mind here a little bit. I don't know. It'll probably be a Netflix or a DVD. It's not gonna be. I won't go see this in movie.
All right, Wink.
All right. Now on his size, yes, they are laying this out to be a Godzilla versus King Kong franchise. That's why he's so much bigger than he was in previous movies, because with how big Godzilla is, the previous versions of King Kong obviously would have dwarfed him. So yes, he is much bigger for a good reason. If you go back and look at the original poster, the first major poster released for Godzilla, you would see like a destroyed city with that army guy holding up a red flare with red smoke everywhere. With a King Kong movie, the most recent trailer showed an ominous green smoke with a big green flare leading to the background, like the outline of King Kong. Now that's for a reason, because they're leading everything up to a King Kong versus Godzilla battle and trailer and franchise and everything like that. That Brett already brought up that this is from the guys who made Godzilla, and it's all because of that. This is leading into a new franchise of King Kong versus Godzilla, and I'm assuming, like a lot of movies, they'll fight at first, and then a more serious threat comes along where they team up and blah blah blah. Just whoop everyone, kind of thing. John Goodman looks to be the main bad guy in this, like
I don't think he's the bad guy.
Well, they really didn't make it seem like that with the way.
No, it made it seem like
Jackson
I think
pointing a gun at.
No, I think that John Goodman is the scientist who wants to go in and research, and they're going in on a military mission. You know how it always is, and they're just not letting him know. I think it's that kind of a thing.
No, he knows. He's the one that led him there. He's the reason they're going there, and he didn't tell anybody what was actually there.
Yeah, but I don't think he's the bad guy. I think he's curious. I don't think it's like I'm going to lead you guys here to get everybody killed kind of a thing.
No, I bet
he's
you
the one there to I was right. To prove I was right.
He has his own agenda.
I will put mankind in danger because I want people to know that ancient beasts were here long before us, and they are more deserving of this planet than mankind.
Yeah, he's got his own
social agenda of the day.
We'll see.
He's the one that puts everyone in danger. He turns out to be a bad guy. And I'm 100% on board with that.
But here's what will happen. I'm calling it right now. I'll never see this movie, but I'm calling it. At the beginning, John Goodman is the bad guy, but then they'll make Samuel L. Jackson be the bad guy because he's saying that mankind should be king and not King Kong. And because we know it's going to be a franchise, King Kong wins, or at least survives. So they're going to play it off as an environmentalist type. Mankind is garbage, and they don't deserve to be
like Avatar.
Yeah,
I don't know. I would be, from the trailer, what they've showed so far, I'd be surprised if that was the outcome.
Because it's going to be Brie Larson and Tom Hiddleston. They're going to be we need to pair up with King Kong and preserve him and help him and love him and all this.
And I'm also going to pair up with Taylor Swift.
Sorry.
What? Too soon?
Who cares?
I don't know. I'd be surprised at that. I think they just end up trying to get off, kind of like a Jurassic Park thing, where they don't want to preserve him and save him. They want to just get away and survive.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a thing where they're worried someone's going to kill him.
Well, but in the trailer, you see hundreds of helicopters, napalm, machine guns. They're trying to kill it.
They're trying to get rid of it.
They're trying to. Samuel L. Jackson's character is trying to obliterate King Kong.
Yeah, but they're not going to obliterate a monkey with a few ground soldiers shooting flamethrowers.
Right, but with like 60 helicopters with napalm,
Yeah,
it'll be interesting. It'll be Brett's not going to see it. I'll probably wait to see it.
Wink, what do you think? Theater?
Yeah, what do you think of Wink?
DVD?
Unless I read bad reviews, I will go see it in theater just because I liked Godzilla. Even though I was really disappointed that how they immediately killed off the reason I wanted to see Godzilla with Bryan Cranston, is that his name?
Bryan Cranston, yeah.
Bryan Cranston, yeah. How they killed him off so early in the movie without even hinting at that.
Spoiler, if you haven't seen that, sorry.
Yeah, I think we're past the spoiler phase for that movie. The movie's quite a few years old.
So, also, if you're listening and you're a movie producer, pretty much just make a movie and Wink's going to see it. Also.
Yeah, he's like 4 for 4 right now.
He is 4 for 4.
Well, I'm a moviegoer as is.
That's true.
That's true.
That's very true. But everything we've talked about so far has been casted really well.
Yeah.
And has, either that or has enough clout behind it with previous installments to make it worth seeing. Like if Godzilla was a bad movie and this was coming out, I wouldn't go see it in theaters. But I enjoy Godzilla.
That's a fair point.
And everything. So like all this stuff has enough base on it. It isn't a completely fresh new thing to make me not interested in seeing it. This all has a base to it.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a fair point.
The next movie, I am really excited for it. I know you guys aren't probably as excited for it. I'm a huge slappy when it comes to this series. Huge slappy. So
wasn't this a children's book at first, or
was
it an adult? Young
what
adult
happened?
Book? I don't remember.
So the next one we're gonna watch is Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. It was debuted at Comic-Con. What J.K. Rowling did was she wrote Harry Potter, all of them, done. At the end, she mentioned a book, and the book's name is Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. It was a book that Harry was reading while he was in a class. People were like, whoa, this is a great idea. Like, you should write a book about it. And so what it is the movie is about the book and the guy who controlled the beasts.
Oh.
And how
I'm thinking of a completely different thing.
No, this is completely... this is this is pre Harry Potter, pre him going.
No, this has nothing to do with the Harry Potter storyline.
This is about a story in Harry Potter. So it's a story about a story.
No,
this is a story.
No, this is the same. This is the same. Everything is Harry Potter, just many years before.
No,
Hogwarts.
It's based off a book inside Harry Potter. How could it be? How could it have anything to do with the Harry Potter timeline?
It's not. It's real. Like in the Harry Potter world, this is a real book. Like the person did research.
Yeah.
But it's okay. So
it's a history book.
It's a history book in Harry Potter that's based on events in that world.
Okay.
So it's all Harry Potter universe.
Exactly. It's all tied together.
Yeah, it's Muggles, humans, stuff like that. I just didn't realize it was in the same universe. I thought it was just a storybook that was inside.
No, it's real in the Harry Potter universe. Yeah.
Okay.
So this is pre Harry Potter. Hogwarts is still around. People are still alive, but it's before Harry and Ron and Hermione ever went to Hogwarts. So
okay,
I just wanted to give that backstory.
cool. Well, here we go. Here's the trailer. I've never seen it, so this will be interesting.
It was like a ghost. I saw its eyes, shining white eyes, and it dove down underground.
There's strange things going on all over the city. The people behind this are not like you and me. There's a hidden society. It goes back centuries.
Yesterday, a wizard entered New York with a case. A case full of magical creatures. And unfortunately, some have escaped.
Teeny, you brought men home.
That's Mr. Scamander. He's lost something I'm going to help him find.
We're going to recapture my creatures before they get hurt. They're currently in alien terrain, surrounded by millions of the most vicious creatures on the planet. Humans.
Magical beasts are terrorizing no-magias. When no-magias are afraid, they attack. Contain this, or it'll mean war.
Put this on.
Why would I have to wear something like this?
Because your skull is susceptible to breakage under immense force.
Don't panic. There's absolutely nothing to worry about.
I want to be a wizard.
So, Eddie Redmayne is the main character in that, Newt Scamander. So he is the author of Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. What the movie is going to be about is it's based in New York, as you guys saw. He travels to New York and they get out of his suitcase and he has to find them, and that's what the book is based on. So he has done all of this research and looked up all of these beasts and found them and documented them and all this stuff, and he has them in that suitcase and they get out. So the rest of the book is just the story of that happening. And so I'm assuming, I haven't read the book, but I've done enough research to know what happens. I think Colin Farrell is like the bad wizard. And as you saw, there are wizards and muggles, and like the guy at the end was even like, muggles, like I wish I could be a wizard, so this is a movie I will go see Thursday night, open showing. I will go see it. I will stand in line. I love Harry Potter. Like I love the Harry Potter world. I could sit and watch them straight through. It's a different side of nerd culture, but it's going to be really interesting to see what they do with it. And I've also heard that they actually have a couple other movies like coming out alongside this one. Like
this is a whole new franchise. I believe they're planning on making 3 movies.
Yeah, so it's going to be sweet. It's based 70 years before Harry Potter reads the book in the school. So there you go, 70 years.
Well, it seems to me like it's a how it all started, I guess. Like how Muggles came aware of the magic world.
Yeah, that's really what it's gonna be. And you saw them like, and if you're a Harry Potter fan, you understand like the Muggles and wizards don't really talk. It's just kind of like we don't know this exists. We're gonna leave it that way. And I think what you're gonna see in these movies is like why it's like that. Like, I think he said like they're scared of these beasts around here, the humans, because the humans are trying to destroy them and get rid of them and stuff like that. So
yeah, I will say, if it's up to me, it'll be buying DVD. Because I will say that the last 3 Harry Potter movies, the 2-part finale,
Yeah,
and the
Deathly
one
Hallows.
before it,
Prisoner of Azkaban.
yes,
It was
the
Order of the Phoenix,
Half-Blood
Prince. You're right, and
those
then Deathly Hallows.
Those 3, I would go see in theater again if they were re-released. Those are the only 3 Harry Potter movies that I would go pay money to see again. The rest of them I can't, like, they're not bad movies. I just after having seen them, I would never go see them again or pay money to see them again.
Yeah.
This
that's why I bought them all. Right.
Yeah, well, and I have the whole collector's set, mostly because Ashley was like, "You're buying this." I was like, "Okay," and that's probably why I will see it in theaters, because my wife will want to see it, and so it'll be a date night. So that's why I will go see it in theater. But other than that, it would be a buy it on DVD. What do you think, Wink?
Theater night for me.
Collector's Cup.
5 for 5.
Yeah, it's J.K. Rowling movie. I mean, there's nothing else that needs to be said. I'm a huge Harry Potter slappy. This is a whole new storyline and everything. Not related. It's, obviously it's not related to Harry Potter, but
yeah.
And the new characters look interesting. So yeah, that's an easy call for me. There's really no no hardcore explanation for something like this.
Story time. All right, story time, because I had no idea what Harry Potter was, and then when I found out what it was, I was like, "This is lame. I would never watch this ever." Okay, and then we were supposed to get together, me, Wink, Gibbs, M. Sutherland, and a couple other people. We were supposed to get together to play Headquarters. Okay, where we all brought our Xbox 360s.
Yeah.
We all got in Gibby's basement, and we gamed for 12, 18 hours straight together on Call of Duty. And instead of doing that, this clown up here brings the the 5th Harry Potter movie, and this just came out on DVD. We're watching it instead of playing. And so I sat through this movie. I was like, I have no idea what's going on. This is the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. I have no idea what's going on. And Wink was like, "This movie is so great." He's like just floundering over it this whole time. I was like, "Dude, you are crazy. I'm not even gonna be your friend anymore."
Whatsoever. I really don't.
You don't remember that?
No, honestly.
Oh my gosh! It was like the worst night of my life until we started playing games. We spent like 2 hours watching this movie.
Oh yeah, I definitely. Wow, I really don't remember that.
Because me and Johnny, we were like, "Dude, this is stupid." Anyways, that was the first time I've ever been introduced to a Harry Potter movie. But then, after my wife was like, "Okay, we're sitting down and watching this one at a time in sequence, so we can go see the Deathly Hallows in theater," I was like, I'll give it props. The story was really well developed over the years, and him going to school and all this stuff happening. I like the small story arcs in each movie, and then the huge story arc across all the movies. I thought that was really well done, really well written.
And the cast was perfect.
Yes, they did.
Literally, they nailed it.
Awesome job. I don't know if I would on my own free will go see this movie in theater. I know I will. Yeah,
sucker.
Because of Ashley, but
yeah.
Anyways, it's a DVD for me, personally.
Sweet.
But we'll be seeing it in theater. So there's a distinction on why. So
Man, this is a long
so after that story time, here's an honorable mention because it was just a private screening. There was no official trailer released. It was all private screening for Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Yes.
They did not release the actual trailer for it. It was a little private screening for, I think, like 20, 30 people or something like that.
Yeah.
And I am pumped for that because Guardians of the Galaxy
best one.
Tied for my favorite Marvel movie with the first Captain America.
Oh, really? It's second behind the first Avengers for me.
Yeah, which it's
first.
So good. It was so good. Chris Pratt nails that role of Star-Lord. So if you haven't seen that, you need to. It is a must-watch.
Like, go buy it on Blu-ray and watch it right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's how bad it is. It's so good.
It's super good. So, anyways, San Diego Comic-Con, probably the biggest, best Comic-Con that there is, arguably. I think there's a good case for that. It ended up this week or last week, right? And then last week it was done, or this weekend.
I think Sunday.
Yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday. So, tons of stuff that came out with that. Not a whole lot of gaming stuff that we didn't already know. So that's why we didn't cover anything gaming related. But nerd culture is alive and well, obviously, by the size of San Diego Comic-Con. It continues to grow year after year. So we like to cover some of that stuff because we are all nerds here. As always, after the podcast, we're doing a Halo 5 custom map night. We're not going to do Warzone Firefight. We are going to do custom games.
I'm so pumped.
So right after this, hop on, play with us. My gamer tag is Groove44. That's GROOVE44. Andrew's is Winkle Stiltskin. I'm not going to try to spell that. And Zach's is Big Z133. BIGZ133. No spaces. Hit us up. Join us. It'll be a blast. We'll be playing until people fall asleep. So for Andrew Winkleman and Zach Goins, my name is Brett Bates. This has been Bitwar Podcast. Have a good week, everyone.
Peace out.
Stranger Things blew my mind.